Hey, so, yeah, a more positive video today because I think I've done quite a lot of negativity for the past couple of days. So yeah, in this video I am going to be talking about my top 5 favourite Doctor Who stories of all time. As I've already done my top 5 worst, I'm now going to do my top 5 best, because why not? So, let's see where this takes us. Okay, my number 5. Now, this was quite tricky because I loved lots of Doctor Who episodes, and if I had to pick it in like 5, I'm going to have to go with Human Nature / Family of Blood. The reason I'm putting this story here is because I love this story. I mean, not just because of how great the episode is. For me, it is pure Doctor Who. Because, I don't know, it's the episode that I can remember the most, because when I was younger, it was one of my all-time faves. It was my all-time favourite out of the Tennant era. Probably my favourite of New Who, because it generally is a fantastic story. And I just love the idea of the Doctor becoming a human and getting to see that the Doctor could never have a normal life. And the Family of Blood were generally a really interesting villains, really. And I wouldn't want them to come back, but it's a shame, really, because I think if they weren't defeated at the end, I would have liked them to have come back someday, because they were quite interesting characters. And I just loved it, because I think it was beautifully performed and really well written. And it was actually based on the novel as well, which I also liked. And you do get a couple of references from the classic era, so that's another reason why I love it. So yeah, I thought I'd have to fit in a new series story there somewhere, because I think it'd be a bit unfair if I just do loads of classic Doctor Who stories otherwise. My fourth favourite would have to be... oh Christ. Number 4. I think my fourth favourite Doctor Who story is going to have to be... oh, I don't know, this is really tricky. I was going to say... yeah, you know what, I'm going to go with... I'm going to say... I'm going to go with Curse of Fenric, because I love this story. It's one of my all-time favourites. It's probably my favourite out of the McCoy era. I just love it to bits. I love the story. I love the Hemivores. I love Ace's character development. I think The Curse of Fenric is a brilliant story, and I just knew that it had to fit in, because it is generally a great story. But compared to the ones I'm going to say now, I like them a bit better, unfortunately. But yeah, I do really, really, really like that story, because it is just... it's just superb, and I love it to bits. And then at number 2, I had a lot of thought about this. I wasn't sure if I was going to go with Genesis of the Daleks or Remembrance, but I'm going to go with Remembrance of the Daleks. Personally, because I just think that story works so well. I mean, I think it's just brilliantly put together, and I just love it. I just love it to bits. I mean, the action, the story, the Doctor is just so badass, and this is one of the episodes that made me love McCoy's Doctor for what he is. And I think it's one of the all-time best Dalek stories. Probably the only good classic story of the Daleks after probably Genesis, because I think after Genesis of the Daleks, the rest of the Dalek stories were a bit, well, rubbish in my opinion. But this is a pure, brilliant story, although it is a little bit racist. Just had to point that out. Oh God. So wait, I've done... Oh, sorry, I've lost count. So what I've said, Human Nature / Family Blood. Then I said Curse of Fenric. Now I've said Remembrance of the Daleks. So that gives me 2 more. Oh God. Sorry, I'm gonna have to cut here. Sorry for being a complete idiot. I just got really confused and my brain just went. So yeah, I do apologise for that. Oh God, so my second favourite Doctor Who story of all time. Oh God, there's so many that I want to choose. But if I had to choose out of 5, so if I had to do them in an order of 5, then I'm gonna have to say... From what I've seen, I'm gonna go for... That is quite tricky. You know, I'm going to go for the 10th planet, I think. Yeah, I will go for the 10th planet, because I really do like that story. Because, you know, it's the first regeneration story. We get introduced to the Cybermen. I love the Cybermen design. I love their voices and everything. And I generally would put that as my second favourite, because... yeah, my second favourite, because I do like it. I really do like that story. So I do kind of have to put the 10th planet there, if I had to pick out 5. But the number 1 story that I'm going to have to go for, because this took a lot of thinking, because it's like, right, I'm going to do it as 5, so what one would I pick? I will say the 3 Doctors. Now the reason being, because of that, is because that story introduced me to the classic series. The 3 Doctors was my first classic story that I ever watched, and I adored it, and I've watched it ever since. I mean, it's the episode that I've probably watched the most of out of any classic Doctor Who episode, and I kind of have to put it there, because I generally do think, considering it was the 10th anniversary, it is probably my favourite, because I can just watch that over and over and over again and not get bored, because I know it like the back of my hand, because that's the story that I obviously grew up with the DVD. You know, one of my all-time favourite villains. You've got Omega, who is my favourite Time Lord villain, I think, because he is just amazing. And you had John Pertwee, who's a fantastic Doctor. And, you know, I got introduced to the first 3 Doctors all in one story. So that's what I like. It generally was a confusing start, but I got it straight away. But yeah, they are my top 5 favourite Doctor Who stories of all time. So if you want to offer me to watch Doctor Who, get them out of the bag, because they are really good. So yeah, I'm quite happy about that. I do apologise for the confusion earlier. But yeah, thank you for watching. Comment down below your 5 favourites, because I would quite like to know. So yeah, bye.